Hey folks, this is Tobin again with the Trexel Sector Warcast. Another commentary on our top 8 match between Shadowsun and Worr. It seems to be a pattern. Shadowsun and Worr, Shadowsun and Worr. Now these are the first planets. You'll see a green win on 3 at Barlas, a green win on 4, and a red win on 5. So there we are. We have Michael playing Shadowsun with Eldar, and Richard playing Worr with Orcs. We have Yvarn, Ossus 4, and Barlas. Now you won't be able to see Yvarn, or Ossus 4, or really Barlas for that matter. But that's what we have. Iridial follows, and then we have Farron on the very end. Richard is playing kind of an atypical war deck from what I've seen. And so he plays the command link station or command link outpost, whatever it might be, the signature support for Shadowsun, which is very important to keeping people from really screwing with all the things that Shadowsun can do. Richard follows with an Ancient Infantry platoon on Yvarn. Now, I didn't play Michael this day, so I don't know exactly what he's playing other than, oh, you know what? I think he's playing big vehicles. I think he's Bone Singer Choir, big vehicle stuff. Wild Roger Squadron, you can't see that. Unfortunately, the glare is pretty strong on these. So, on these cards. That's one thing that I'll have to do moving forward is when we are filming this, we have to make sure that the glare is not there, or that maybe I provide the planets for all these so that we know there isn't a glare. And Richard goes ahead and plays a Torok APC. Torox APC? Torok? Shadowsun Stealth Cadre, thank you, Michael, for saying what you're playing. Because otherwise, I would not even hear it. I wouldn't even know what that is. Ammo Depot for Richard. So right now, Richard can use the Ammo Depot immediately. So Shadowsun Stealth Cadre, Wild Rider Squadron, and a command link station for Michael. Oh, and a forward barracks. Richard uses all 7 of his resources. Now, my guess is that Michael, in order to use Shadowsun's ability, Michael is going to go to 2. And hopefully put something on Wild Rider Squadron, although I don't think it can take war gear attachments. I can't remember at this point, and I haven't used the card very much lately. But Michael goes to 3. Or, I'm sorry, 4. Iridial. Taking advantage of... He takes advantage of Iridial's remove damage from a unit? I don't know. Maybe he's going for the card and the command structure. And Richard, just like that, has 3 icons. So right now, Richard's looking at a 3-planet win. That's really, he could have moved that. He could have done very well there if Richard wanted to go all in on doing some bloodying of Shadowsun. He could have got 4 damage into Shadowsun. Or maybe not. So now Ossus 4 is our first planet, and our new planet is Aatrox Prime. So everybody gets their requisite 2 cards, 4 resources. And Richard is rich. Wow. He's got 7 resources again. And Michael's got those darker resource tokens over there, those coins. He's got 6 resources, and Michael has initiative now. Warlock Destructor gets played on Osis 4. Now, Osis 4 is the green planet that has 2 resources as on the command struggle, and you can take a resource from your opponent if you win it. Richard plays a Selim Shrine Guard on 2. Now Richard has got a Warlord and 2 other units at HQ right now. More than likely, I think I would go with, I don't know. Yeah, there's another Shadowsun stealth cadre for Michael. I think I go 1. Unfortunately, Michael hasn't been able to trigger, and it doesn't look like he has very much in his hand. I'm looking for shield markers that indicate an attachment. I don't see very much there. So, Michael has been, as I've said in other videos, Michael is a fairly new player. He's been playing for about 3 or 4 months. He actually played his first game. I showed him how to play the first game. He had the cards. I played his first game with a demo deck a couple days before the store championships at Haunted Game Cafe in Fort Collins, a regular sponsor of our video series. So Michael hasn't been playing very long, and here he is, undefeated in Swiss with Shadowsun Eldar, and he's just a monster at this point. Now the Wild Rider Squadron is there at HQ because of the routing from Richard. They've both passed. So Richard looks like he's going to win. Looks like he's going to win command on at least 2 planets. He's winning on 5. He's winning on Nitrox Prime, and then he's winning on Barless. And then he'll go somewhere. If his Warlord doesn't go to one of those 2, he'll win on 3 planets. And it is Michael's initiative. So, Michael needs some attachments. That's what he needs. If he doesn't get anything, Shadowsun is not worth it if you don't have any attachments put on anybody. And he goes to Aatrox. Oh wow, he's going to and drone defense system for the Wild Rider Squadron. Interesting. So is Michael going to... Oh, but maybe Richard pops the troop transport. Oh, wow, that would be rough. And Richard also has a staging ground in play, although he only has 1 resource. Richard passes on actions. Michael passes on actions. Michael takes the resource from him. Oh, that's the Warlock Destructor. Sorry, Warlock Destructor on 1. Now there is a big fracking, well, not a big battle, but a 3 units on one side, 1 unit on another. Now he's doing this on... That's very interesting. With Worr being as delicate as he is, I really tried to not attack with Worr almost ever. Torok APC. So he attacks the Torok APC for 2. Interesting choice. He doesn't want the Torok moving. He's ready to give up the Stealth Cadre. Yeah, so forward barracks triggers. Out comes a guardsman. And Michael's like, yeah, I could retreat and die or stay and die. And that's why Worr is so powerful. It's it's that you can't get away. You must fight. No, another token doesn't come out. Oh, that's too bad. No. Yep. Yeah, so Guardsman goes back. Good going, Michael. Good going. Michael, he's young, and he almost has no beard, but he knows his stuff. Right, Michael? Richard has support haven in his HQ. Look at that. He's just got all kinds of great stuff. Oh, it's not a green planet. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a... Oh, that's Aatrox. That's Aatrox. It's a red-blue. Sorry. So he's moving the Wild Rider Squadron over, and then he swings for 2 at the Sanctioned Psyker. So he deals 1 to HQ from Aatrox Prime. For those of you eagle-eyed viewers, you'll see the spot glossy Nahamek spot glossy over right at the top of this mat, right sitting there on the table. So there's Karnath as our last planet. Okay, so they've each got a green, and Richard has a red and a blue to add to it. So Michael pays for the Warlock Destructor. I honestly, so he finally has one attachment. He's committed twice, and he has 1 attachment on 1 unit. So hopefully Michael gets some attachments soon. Okay, so one of the things you might have noticed that Michael's cards are actually upside down to him. So that's the Bone Singer Choir. So Michael plays his cards upside down to allow his opponent to read the cards without reading them upside down. It is a little off-putting when you first look around, because I'm used to seeing units in a particular manner. So my brain has been trained to see them opposite. But Michael plays it that way. Oh, so he plays the Mighty Wraith Knight. And he exhausts everybody at the planet. Mighty Wraith Knight. Wow, that's a play. That's a play from Michael. I have not watched this, guys. I edited it, but I have not watched it closely. That is awesome. And part of it is my own hesitation to provide commentary for a game where I can't see some of the cards. It's really hard. Oh my gosh. So this is Barless that they're fighting over. which is a green planet that, if you win the battle ability, it's forcing a random discard from your opponent. Okay. Ooh, so a stealth cadre gets a stealth cadre. This is interesting. So he's gonna get three attacks. Three attacks before Richard gets one. And Michael scores pretty big on the command. That was a good turn on Michael's part. Let's see if he can finish this off with a win with a stealing Barless. He hits the Steel Legion Chimera for 5 with the Mighty Wraith Knight. And of course, Richard has a handful of shield cards probably at this point. Richard needs a 2 shield to save him. So he takes 3. And maybe this is where Richard pops the troop transport to get an attack. Subdual. Subdual on the forward barracks. Oh my gosh. And there we are. And there it is. Richard's like, okay, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this. I got to do something. So he pops 2 because, hey, it's a green planet. No. It isn't your attack. Oh, that's a mistake on their part. So he attacks for 1 at the Steel Legion Chimera, even though it should have been Richard's attack. 4/4, 5/5, 1/7, and a 3/4. And it looks like Richard has some units he could play with Stage and Ground if he wanted to. And Michael cannot save his Stealth Cadre unit? He can't save him. So the Mighty Wraith Knight, the Warlock Destructor, all on tap. Now, is anybody retreating? No one's retreating. Preemptive Barrage doesn't do anything, Richard. So Michael is explaining to Richard about the ranged skirmish being only in the first battle. And he retreats with Shadowsun. Wow. Probably not a bad idea. Because there's... three at the Steel Legion Chimera. Steel Legion Chimera goes away. And then there's a four shot coming at the Mighty Wraith Knight. Man. The units that Worr can put out is frankly outstanding and amazing. So he's attacking for 4 on the Warlock Destructor, and Michael looks like he has shields in his hand, but I cannot tell. Yeah, Michael has at least one shield card in his hand. So he's trying to decide whether it's enough, whether playing it is worth it, because he's still got 3 other units that are going to attack. The Wraith Knight's going to kill the Sicilian Shrine Guard. That much is obvious. Richard can't protect a 5 slam coming in on a 3-2. So he shields 1. 5 at him. Yep. So here come the guardsmen. There goes the Warlock Destructor. And there's 2 damage there. Oh, and the staging ground. Here it comes. Is that an Ingency Augur, I believe? Oh, is that a kill? Is that a kill? Oh no, he shields 1. Yep, it's worth it. It's worth that to get rid of the Anxious Infantry platoon. Yep. You sack the beast. And maybe he has Gift of Visha. Oh no, Gift of Visha is a loyal, so there's Richard. He gets a 2nd green. Wow, that was a heck of a battle. Heck of a battle. And discards a unit. An Eldar vehicle that Michael could have played for really cheaply. So is he going to do... So Richard is here sitting here trying to decide what to trigger, whether he's going to trigger Atrox Prime, Iridial, or Farron. And he triggers Farron to move the Wild Rider Squadron away, back to HQ. So that's interesting. I don't have much to say here, folks. This is a fairly well played game. I don't know that there's... I'm not familiar with either one of these folks' decks, so I can't really speak to strategy too much other than, planet commitment. I know that Richard's sitting on a win right here, right? It's all on the next planet, and he's definitely got the advantage. Now, we know that Richard has a forward barracks in his hand, courtesy of the Subdual, and one other card. So Michael plays an Earthcast Technician, triggers the ability, drawing 6, looking for a drone or an attachment, and takes it. And he takes the drone defense system into his hand. And I apologize for you not being able to tell. The only way I can tell is because Michael is saying what he's getting. Again, thank you, Michael. Hey, look at that. We've reestablished our forward barracks after it took a psyker hit. Now, Ingency Augur is... I see it in a lot of decks, but with the exception of a Kotez deck that I was playing, which had 12 supports, which is, almost a quarter of the... or really is a quarter of your 50-card deck. I had Ingency Augurs in my early war builds, but they just weren't working. And I think it was mostly because of the lack of hammers and the fact that I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him and target him. And so, but he always whiffed. I had 10 supports, and that was a fifth, and you'd think that I'd get it, but a whiffing meant that I put units on the bottom, and I played my war deck with 27 units in the end. It was 27 units. So that's the big 5-4. When a unit moves from this planet, you may move it as well. You may move it to another planet. Moves from a planet to another planet. You may move this unit to that planet as well. So what we have here is, Richard's going to go. So Richard passes. Oh, and that's what he's going to do. So Michael's going to go to 2 with the Shadowsun and the Wild Rider Squadron and move the Wild Rider Squadron over as a combat action. Oh, they're looking for dials. It's right there. There we go. So Michael, I think, will go to 2. I think we'll see Michael go to 2. And we will see Richard go to 1. Well, no, maybe Richard actually goes to 4. Karnath to prevent that trigger and trigger something else himself. Yeah. Now those units go with him. Oh, by the way, for those of you, I've seen the spoilers for the final Gambit and the 2 shield AM support card or AM event, which for 0, it's bolster the defenses, I think. It's a 2 shield, 0 cost, where you put a support card into play. It's combat action where you put a support card into play that is equal to or less than the cost of the number of AM units you have at a planet, which is insane, right? You can just pop a Katachan right into it. I have 3 Call to Arms in my deck, and I think 2 of those are going to bolster the defenses. Because you can, to be able to pop a staging ground or to pop a forward barracks that you draw on the commitment, or pop a Katachan that you draw on the commitment, or an Inquisitorial Fortress, or anything. Oh my God, that's amazing. Amazing. I very rarely have less than 2 units at a planet. And so I think that card is just going to, it's just so silly how some cards just get better. Now, it is a 2-card combination, but so is Call to Arms. Call to Arms is a 2-card combination as well. Because, there we go. That's what he was going to do. He's done it. Five to the Guardsman. Wow. I would lay into the infantry platoon. But this is a green planet, so 3-4 and 5-4. And Michael has initiative, so is Richard. Richard has 1 resource. Forward barracks is going to pop. Oh, the Guardsman. Yeah, so Elysian Assault Team triggers as a result of the Guardsman, and there goes that. Oh, and that has got to hurt. That has got to hurt. Elysian Assault Team is one of my favorite cards, and it can mean the difference between winning and losing. You get to, especially on a green planet with Worr, he's a unit that comes in and attacks right after you've destroyed something, and Michael yields. Well done. Well done. Congratulations, Richard. So, yeah, there were too many green planets there for Michael to really be able to do anything for it. Thanks for watching, folks, and be sure to listen to our podcast. That Traxxas Sector Warcast. We do have top 4 coming. Take care.